Hi everyone, and welcome back to our Python programming series. Welcome back to our Duistic channel. Today we are diving into one of the most powerful and essential topics in programming, control flow. That's right. Understanding control flow allows your program to make decisions, execute different blocks of code based on conditions, and become truly dynamic and interactive. Without it, your programs would simply run from top to bottom, performing the same actions every time. In this video, we will explore how to use if, elif, and else statements to implement decision making in Python. These statements let your programs adapt to different inputs and scenarios, making them much more versatile and useful. By the end of this lesson, you will have a solid understanding of how to write conditional statements with if, elif, and else, how Python evaluates conditions to decide which block of code to execute, how to handle multiple conditions in an efficient and structured way. We will also walk through several practical examples to see these concepts in action. So whether you are building a simple calculator or a complex decision-making application, this lesson is for you. Let's dive in. Okay, so hi everyone. So what is a control flow? Control flow determines in order in which statements are executed in a program. So by default, Python executes code sequentially, line by line. However, with control flow statements, we can change this sequence based on conditions. For example, we can write a program to check if a user is eligible to vote, decide which shipping action to offer based on an order amount, calculate discounts for a shopping cart. So Python's control flow relies on conditional statements like if, elif, and else to evaluate expressions and execute specific blocks of code. The if statement, the if statement is the simplest form of conditional statement. It allows you to execute a block of code only if a specified condition evaluates to true. Let's example. We use here, this is our Visual Studio Code, and in this file we say if condition. So let's suppose this is our if condition, and then here this will be the code to execute if condition is true. This is just an example, is true. This is not a valid code, but remember, first we will write if condition and then these semicolons at the end, and then after in next line there will be indent. If you can see before code there is a space, empty space, and that is a tab space from your keyboard. If you will press tab, so that and it's called indentation. So the next, after if condition, the next line will start. Basically those will be the codes to execute. So now we will start a valid example. I would say age is equal to 20. And then in next line, we start with the if condition. If age is greater than or equal to 18. And then it ends with semicolons. And then when you press enter, automatically in Visual Studio Code, it will start with indentation. And then we print you are eligible to vote. Okay, so let's run this program. So you can see computer will ask, it has said you are eligible to vote because age is already 20. So what happens? The condition age is greater than or equal to 18 is evaluated. Then if it's true, the code inside the if block runs, which is this one. This is inside this if condition block. And if it's false, the program skips the block. Right, you heard it right. The program skips the block. Now the next statement we will uh, we will experiment. So first I told you if condition. So I told you this one. So if condition. So let's suppose if it's not true, then in the third line we can start with else, and then again now this program to execute under else condition, and we say code to execute if condition is false. And which condition is we are talking about false? The first one. So if first condition will be false, then it will execute the second condition, which is this one. So we now experiment with another example. We say age is equal to 16, and then if age is greater than or equal to 18, the same example, then print you are eligible to vote. And if this condition is not true, then else print you are not, or can say sorry, you are too young to vote. Right, there is some mistake here. Right, and now we can run this program. So because age is 16, if the condition age is greater than or equal to 18 is false, then else block executes. This ensures that one of the two blocks will always run. So in this case, the second block runs, which is sorry, you are too young to vote, which is this one. As you can see, this one. Let me just clear the terminal as well. Okay. And then the third one, which I will discuss with you today, the elif statement. So the elif, short for else if statement, allows you to check multiple conditions. It is used after an if statement and before an else statement. So let me show. Sorry. Let me just. So here, the first thing we have discussed if condition, and if the first condition will be false, then else will run. Now there is another thing in between here after if statement, which is called elif. Condition 2, and then code will execute if it's true. Okay, so what will happen? First, program evaluates the condition one by one. So if it evaluates the first block, if it will be false, then it will check the second one, elif. And again, if it will be false, then it will run the third else, and this statement will be run. So let's start with an example. So I would say score is equal to 85, and then if score is greater than or equal to 90, then print grade A. Elif score is greater than or equal to 80, print grade B. Let's copy this. Okay, another one more elif. Score is greater than or equal to 70, grade is C. And then we start with else at last, and then grade is D or grade is F. Okay. What will happen? The program evaluates the conditions one by one, starting with score is greater than or equal to 90, this one, the first one. If it finds a true condition, it executes the corresponding block and skips the rest. So it will execute this print condition automatically, and after that these all other statements will not run. If none of the conditions are true, then else block executes. So if all these conditions are not true, then condition, the last one, else, will run. So it's grade B, because at the moment in a program it's 81. So now we are talking about chaining and nesting condition. Chaining and nesting condition. You can chain multiple conditions in a single if statement using logical operators like and or. So as you remember in our last video, we already have discussed about and, or, and not operators. So how we can use chaining and nesting conditions. So for example, let's start with age is equal to 25, and we say income is equal to 40,000. Okay. If age is greater than or equal to 18 and income is equal to or greater than or equal to 30,000, then end with colons and then print you are eligible for a loan. Else you do not meet the eligibility criteria. Right. So if we run this program, you can see you are eligible for a loan because age is 25 and income is 40,000. So the first requirement is also meeting the criteria, and the second is also because income is 40,000. So this is how we can use we can chain multiple conditions in a single if statement. We can also nest one if statement inside another to handle more complex scenarios. So for example, age is equal to 20, and then we say has underscore id, another variable, is equal to true if if age is greater than or equal to 18 and also there is another, this is called a nested if condition. If has id, then print you can enter the club. Else print you need an ID to enter the club. And if even first, uh, if age is not greater or equal to 18, then else you are too young to enter the club. Okay. So what will happen if you will run this program? So it's saying you can enter the club because age is 20. So if age is 20, so first statement will become true and then it will enter in the second one. Has ID? So has ID is also true. And then this print, this will run this print command or this code. You can enter the club. That's why we can see here you can enter the club. And the rest of all these conditions will be nullified because it will stop there. Um, while nesting is powerful, it can make code harder to read. Use it sparingly. So you just need to check it quite wisely. You need to use this quite wisely because yeah, it can be complicated lots of time. So there can be another practical example I will share with you. Eligibility checker, I will call it. So age is equal to, we will convert it to integer because as you already know, we already have discussed that when we will get inputs from user, always it will return with a string. So we need to convert it into integer. So enter your age. Okay. And if age is less than just less than 5, then we print admission is free. Elif age is less than 18, admission fee is $10. Elif age is less than 60, admission fee $20. Or else admission fee is $15. Right. So we run this program again. So it's asking enter your age. So if we say and age is 3 and press enter, so it's saying admission is free. So what will happen is now our first condition is true. So that's why it will print admission is free. Let me just clear this terminal. Now we again run this program. And now we say maybe 17. Now it's saying admission fee is 10 because it's less than 18 now. Again run it. And now we will say 59. Press it and it's saying admission is 20. So because it will check the first condition, is it less than 5? No. Is it less than 18? No. Is it less than 60? Yes. So 59. So it will print this one. Admission fee is 20. The user inputs their age as we are doing. The program evaluates each condition and executes the first one. That's true if it's less than 5. So it provides different admission fees based on the age group. A nice example. So you can just also practice it in your free time. Okay. So common mistakes and debugging tips, I will give it to you. So sometimes we use only one. Okay, let me just say we use is equal instead of two equal signs, as already I have discussed with you and explained you in my earlier video, that one equal sign is for assignment, while two equal signs is for comparison. So whenever you are going for comparison in conditions, always use two equal signs. Example, I would give you example that if x is equal to 5, it will throw a syntax error because it will not compare x with 5. It's just an assignment that x is 5. It's not comparing as a condition. Okay, second normal and common mistake is forgetting indentation. So whenever you are applying if condition or elif condition or else condition, always remember to give indentation in next line. So let's suppose you say if x is equal to 5, in next line will start not from just under if, it should start from here. You got my point. So Python use indentation to define blocks of code, basically. So ensure consistent use of spaces or tabs. Then the third common mistake, overlapping conditions. Ensure that conditions don't overlap unintentionally. It, um, Let me just share some example. So in the grade example, Elif score is greater than or equal to 80 won't run if the first condition is not exclusive, sorry. So please remember these kind of things. So great job, guys. In this video, we covered the basics of control flow in Python, how to use if, elif, and else to make decisions, how to chain and nest conditions for more complex logic. Control flow is a fundamental concept that allows you to create dynamic and responsive programs. Mastering it will unlock the ability to solve real-world problems with Python. So in the next video, we will explore loops in Python, including for loop and while loops. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below with your suggestions or examples of how you have used conditionals in your own projects. See you next time and happy coding. Also, don't forget to resolve my assignment, which I will leave you shortly. Thank you very much, guys.